So a client has the need to provide for his child's college education cost. He envisages that 4 annual payments of 20,000 in current money terms would be needed beginning 15 years from now. So beginning 15 years from now, that means on the timeline, where is it?
End of 14 years.
So once again we read, would be needed beginning 15 years from now. So शुरू होगा 15 साल के बाद. Right, so if I translate it, it is like शुरू होगा 15 year के बाद. So that is, we are at 0. First cash flow, sir, it is still at the end of 15. Beginning 15 years from now. It is not beginning of 15th year. It is beginning 15 years from now. So there is no other linguistic issue here. Sir, clear, Gautam sir?
Yes.
Okay. Assuming level of inflation 5% and the fund earns 8% per annum return throughout, calculate the present value to be placed on this liability when carrying out a need analysis for this client. So round your answer to nearest 1,000. So we have to find out PV of it. Did we do this? ये किया था last time? नहीं, I think no. चलो किया हो तो फिर भी कर लेते हैं. So we solve this question in a normal way without using cash flow. Manual way से ही करते. So first cash flow in current value terms needed at the end of 15th year. How many such cash flows? 4. So 16, then 17 and 18. These are the years. In current value terms, you need 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 and 20,000. In current value terms. So now step number 1 is estimation of expense. So हम normal method से करते हैं. So PV is equal to 20,000. N is equal to 15. I by Y, how much is inflation rate? 5. And let us find out FV. बताओ मुझे इसका FV कितना आता है?
$41,578.
So is that the common answer? Everybody?
$41,585.
हाँ, that's correct. Difference क्यों आ गया सर? I think इसमें आंसर सबका सेम होना है सर. 41,578 is the common answer. ये ठीक है. It is required for 4 years. So next step is that I'll take this amount as PMT. This amount should be taken as PMT in beginning mode. N is equal to 4. I by Y is real rate. So I have to find out present value of growing requirements. So all these withdrawals in actual will grow with inflation, right? In actual, it will grow with inflation. So that has been the reason. अब हमें present value of growing requirement ढूंढना है. So I need real rate of 2 rates, that is 8 and 5, and we have to find out PV. We have started getting some answers. It is 1,59,512. Is it the answer? Mitra, doing this?
Yes, sir. Doing.
Shweta?
Yes, sir.
Param?
No, sir.
So correct answer is 1,59,525 in beginning mode, right? Oh, sir, your answer is in beginning mode or different? Beginning mode, okay. So why it's been different? Difference is like 1000 रुपए जितना difference है. एक बार क्लियर टीवीएम करके देख लो ना एक बार.
I by Y कितना लिया वो खाली कंफर्म कर लीजिए ना सब पे.
हाँ, yes.
2.85 I had taken. That is the real rate.
2.8571.
2.8571.
Correct. That's correct. Achha, and your PMT is 41,578.
Yes, sir.
N is equal to 4.
4.
FV is 0.
For F is 0.
0. Okay. Beginning mode.
Beginning mode.
To find out PV. And PMT is also 0. PMT is there. Okay. We have to find out PV. PMT is 0. Correct.
159509.
That's correct. Now correct. Fine. So आ गया सबका आंसर. And रत्नानी सर तो आंसर भी ला दिए पूरा finally. So this is the corpus. We know this as corpus. और ये corpus कब चाहिए? So when is it needed? So this is the amount needed at the end of 15th year. Now we don't have to make any investment right now. The question is asking us, calculate the present value to be placed on this liability. So we have to find out present value of that amount, right? Where means on at which point on the timeline? At 0, right? So I'll take this amount as FV. N is equal to 15. Now tell me how much should be I by Y. ये क्या लेंगे? Should it be real rate or
8%.
8%? So wonderful. And we find out PV. So tell me how much is it?
$50,280.
Correct. That's the answer. Do we have Paresh Bhai in the class today? No, he's missing. Correct. Chalo. 50,284. So rounded answer is 50,000. I hope that's clear, super clear. So that is method number 1 to solve this question. Since we are using Texas, we should be faster and better on this calculation. तो चलो इसको वैसे भी कर दिए. क्लियर हो गया ना सबको? We move further quickly. Okay. So what do we do is, अब ये हटा देते हैं. So we say don't do like this. तो अगर हम ध्यान से थोड़ा देखें तो इसका एक alternate method भी हो सकता है. So which says that step number 1 में I inflated the current expenditure. फिर उसमें like PVGA करके I found this amount, and then this is the amount which has been taken backwards with investment rate. तो एक ऐसा आइडिया भी लगा सकते हैं. So wherein I take 0 cash flow up to 14 means पूरे क्वेश्चन को कुछ हम step 1 लेते ही नहीं है. Step 1 और step 3 combine करके चलते हैं. So CF0 is 0, C1 is 0 and frequency 14. So 14 years तक तो कुछ है ही नहीं. Then mole. Fine. So cash flow 2, that is from 15th, we have got 20,000 and frequency is equal to 4. So timeline पे जो data था हमने punch कर दिया and say I find out present value of it with real rate. सीधा NPV real rate से ही ढूंढते हैं. So I am just escaping the first step, isolated. Step 1, step 3 को combine कर दिया. So throughout the question हमने real rate से ही कर दिया, and you will find out that you are getting the same PV once again. So this has been new for us. ये पहली बार आया हमारे competition में. Is this method clear? Anybody still having some doubt or confusion?
ये हमने पहले किया था क्या?
I think ये question हमने repeat किया ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे.
ये क्योंकि ये फीड में आ गया मेरे.
आ गया ना?
कैश फ्लो वाले में.
Last हमने
but I don't remember like.
अच्छा ना, स्टार्ट में हमने इसको रिवाइज कर लिया. तो अब ये कॉन्सेप्ट से काफी क्वेश्चंस हमें करने हैं. But that we did last week. So of course ये अच्छा किया that we repeated this question. अब इसके
one thing I have to ask.
Yes sir, yes sir.
The begin mode and end mode, while using the CF function, should we be careful about begin and end mode, or it makes no difference?
See, end mode and beginning mode, which we set on the calculator, is only relevant when I'm using PMT.
Okay. Otherwise, it makes no difference.
No difference. Yes, no difference.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, a bigger version of question number that was 32 is 33. थोड़ा बड़ा question है, मजेदार भी है. And this question is like a common question between investment planning and retirement planning. Vinita has recently divorced. Has now. क्या पढ़ रहा हूँ? So Vinita was recently divorced and has 2 children. The divorce decree requires that she pay 1/3 of the college tuition cost for her children. The tuition cost is currently 15,000 per year and has been increasing at 7% year on year. Her son and daughter are 12 and 16 respectively and will attend college for 4 years beginning at age 18. How much should she save each month beginning today for the next 5 years to finance the education for both children? Assume that her after-tax rate of return be 9% and inflation is 4%. Right? So, बहुत अच्छा question. I'll say it's a very good question to practice. Timeline. सबसे पहले. And 2 kids. We are at 0. Elder की age कितनी है अभी? 12 and younger is 16. So पहले elder का लेते हैं. So elder जो है is a son. So son will start attending college. There's a chat here.
Elder is 16, so you will attend college after 2 years.
Elder is 16 and elder is आज कुछ मैं बहुत ज्यादा ही गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ ऐसे लग रहा है. Seriously, मुझे भी लग रहा है ऐसा. So elder is 16. It will start attending college beginning 18 years from now. So कितने साल के बाद? Year 1 नहीं and year 2 से शुरू होगा. And that is going to go on for how many years?
5 years.
4 years.
4 years. Sorry.
So 2, 3, 4 and 5. बराबर. How much in current cost terms?
15,000.
Is the total. But the divorce decree suggests that Vinita has to bear 1/3. बराबर. So in current cost terms, that is 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 and 5,000. Correct? In current cost terms. Now, so elder was daughter. Now comes son. Son is 12 years. He will attend college after how many years?
6 years.
6 years. So उसका हम कलर चेंज कर देते सन का. So son will start attending after 6 years. Then it will go on for 7, 8, and 9. And how much is that amount? Once again in current terms, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and 5,000 in current cost terms. So these are the requirements in current value terms at the end of different periods. Correct? अब सबसे interesting point. How long is that investment period? That is something really new to us. इन्वेस्टमेंट पीरियड कितने साल का है?
Next 5 years, 5
5
years.
years. So यहाँ से लेके, so if I start drawing, तो 5 year के ends तक का हमारे पास इन्वेस्टमेंट पीरियड है. So this is the investment period. और यहाँ पर कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट होना चाहिए वो हमें पूछा है. So recollect all those previous questions that we did. इसमें ऐसा था कि लाइक टाइमलाइन पे हम 0 पे आए, देन देयर इज अ कॉर्पस, जो कॉर्पस हमने प्रेजेंट वैल्यू करके ढूंढा. सो यूजुअली कॉर्पस मिला एंड ये पीरियड हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट होता. रिकलेक्ट ऑल दोस क्वेश्चंस. हमने आगे जो 32 क्वेश्चंस किए, ऑलमोस्ट दे वर फॉलोइंग दिस पैटर्न वेयरइन इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड्स एंड विथड्रॉवल कमेंसेस. ये हमारा नॉर्मल और यूजुअल मेथड था. So this was our usual method कि investment खत्म होता है, withdrawal शुरू होता है. But in this particular case, what do we see is there is a period जिसको मैं overlapping period बताऊंगा. So second year से fifth year का कुछ ऐसा period है कि जिसमें investment भी हो रहा है और withdrawal भी चल रहा है. Can you see that? There is a period in which investment is on and withdrawals have started. Overlapping period. Got this? किसी ने हाँ ना कुछ बताया नहीं.
Yes, yes.
हाँ.
Yes, sir.
अब ऐसे सिचुएशन को हम टैकल कैसे करेंगे? दिस इज समथिंग न्यू फॉर अस. तो जो हमारा यूजुअल मेथड था उसके हिसाब से ये चलेगा नहीं कि इन्वेस्टमेंट खत्म हो गया, कॉर्पस ढूंढ लो और उसका लाइक दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी द वे.
तो इसको कैश फ्लो से पहले पीवी ढूंढ लेते हैं, फिर वो उसका पीएमटी ढूंढ लेते हैं, वो पीएम वो.
सो इसमें हमें यहाँ पर जैसे कंपैरिजन पॉइंट मिला था ना इन्वेस्टमेंट और विड्रॉवल का, जो हमें इन्वेस्ट मींस ये कंपैरिजन पॉइंट मिला था, ऐसा नहीं मिलेगा. सो फॉर एवरीथिंग देयर इज अ नेचुरल कंपैरिजन पॉइंट दैट इज 0. नेचुरल कंपैरिजन पॉइंट इज 0. अब मैं आपको इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन पूछता हूं कि इफ पीवी ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट is more than PV of investments that I make. चलो, what is the outcome or repercussion of this?
सर वो पैसे कम हो जाएंगे ना, वो पीवी शुड बी सेम होना चाहिए दोनों.
Right. So मेरी requirements in present value terms are more than the present value of investment that I am going to make. बराबर. तो इसका आउटकम कैसे होगा कि मेरे पैसे कम पड़ जाएंगे. So money will be exhausted before all the requirements have been met. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It should be clear to everybody. बहुत ध्यान से इसको मुझे आंसर करिएगा, because ये एक नया पॉइंट है एक बार सीख जाओगे फिर कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं उसमें. इफ आई से इसको चेंज कर देते. So if present value of requirement is more than present or less than the present value of investment, then what's the outcome of it?
Save the money.
ऐसे पड़े रहेंगे.
Yes. So you will have surplus money. You will have surplus money. So requirements सारी fulfill हो जाएगी and still you are left with money. So हम जो planning करते हैं, so planning is neither for surplus nor for deficit. It is this equation. So whatever is my requirement in current terms, that should be the present value of investment in current terms. ये equate होना चाहिए. चलो ये logic set हुआ सबको. So once it is set, let me know. और confusion है तो पूछो. Don't fear. Clear कर लो.
You are telling that requirement is more than available fund, right?
हाँ.
So how will it be met? Because I do not have that much money in my pocket, but I need more.
Right. So if requirements, so whatever have been the future requirements, I find out present value of those requirements. Right.
Yes.
And whatever I invest for all those requirements, I find out present value of it. Now, if those requirements are more than investments, then there will be a deficit or not.
Yes.
So sometime in future, money will be exhausted. I don't know which one is that year, but money will be exhausted and there are still some requirements which will remain unfulfilled. True?
Right.
If I say inverse of it, so whatever investments present value I do have,
Yes.
more than the requirement, then you would have surplus. You will fulfill all your requirements and you will have a surplus.
Right.
So Gautam sir, what should be that ideal scenario for planning purpose? So both should have been equal in current value terms.
Yeah, that is the ideal situation.
Ideal situation, correct. So now our object, mathematically it is very simple, but logical understanding should also be clear, so that like any like what you can say weird thing that has been asked in exam, you are able to tackle it.
Right.
So conceptually clear. Maths is very easy, but concepts are clear. Fine.
Yeah.
So what do we do is, I'll find out first of all present value of everything. So that is present value of all my requirements similar to the one which we did in earlier question. तो आप पहले ये ढूंढ लो. So find out 36,158.
Sir, real rate मेरा 4. Sir, real rate is 1.09 divided by 1.04.
Yes sir.
तो ये 1.8 कैसे आ सकता है सर? ये तो something 4 point something आ रहा है.
हाँ. And now see, this question is something very interesting. We have got
inflation rate क्या है? 11% आएगा.
सुनो. There are two inflation rates in this question.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Okay. Can we last?
मैं बता ही देता हूँ. Confusion ना हो. See, we are given two inflation rates. एक education का inflation है, एक general inflation है. हम कौन सा गोल ले रहे हैं?
Education का.
Obviously we should.
सर ये क्यों दे रखा है यहाँ पे कंफ्यूज करने के लिए 4% का?
नहीं, ये एग्जाम में ऐसा होता ही है ना. They've got right to ask such questions. और ये past कभी ना कभी एग्जाम में पूछे गए क्वेश्चन है. जो हमारा लेगेसी प्रोग्राम था उसमें ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते थे.
सर ये 11% कंसीडर नहीं होगा ऐसा?
कैसे 11% होगा? 7 ही होगा ना. कमल क्या बता दो? Should be 7. दो अलग अलग है. एक आपका हाउस होल्ड इन्फ्लेशन है और दूसरा एजुकेशन इन्फ्लेशन है. आप कौन सा गोल ले रहे हो?
एजुकेशनल.
हाँ, तो एजुकेशन इन्फ्लेशन ले रहे हो ना. दोनों को ऐड क्यों करोगे?
सर जो रियल रेट कैलकुलेट करेंगे वो फिर 7 से होगी ना?
हाँ एकदम.
ओके सर, गॉट इट.
So we have taken 8 as a 4 plus 4.
हाँ, yes. So all of us clear? 36,158. Mitra, got it?
Yes, sir.
Forum doing it? Or in the bank?
No, sir. Not bank at home.
Shweta done? Okay, sure, wonderful. So this is the present value of requirement. Now next is that whatever investment I make should also have the same present value. So logic goes that way. So whatever investment I make should have the same present value. So I take this amount as PV, N is equal to 60. Since it is an investment rate, 9% is investment rate, I cannot divide it by 12. So I can take monthly nominal rate and can find out PMT. So now get on to 740 in beginning mode. So whatever investment I make should also have the same PV. That's the concept we have taken up.
सर ये मंथली नॉमिनल रेट कितना आएगा?
इसका और एक मेथड है, वो भी मैं आपको सिखा देता हूँ. वी कैन सॉल्व इट टू वेज. सो सबसे पहले इफेक्टिव रेट शुड बी 9 C by 12 and
12.
find out NOM. So anybody who has done it, let me know.
Six.
9.38.
Ritesh bhai, nominal rate should be lesser than effective rate.
8.6488.
Sorry. उल्टा कर दिया.
उल्टा कर दिया. Then it is to be divided by 12. So that is going to be
8.64.
0.72.
yes. आ गया ना 700 and something. That should be the answer. अच्छा, इसका एक short method में आपको सिखाता हूँ. Probably I haven't taught it many times. थोड़ा R&D करना हो तो सिखा देता हूँ. So what you do is कि keep this amount as PV as it is. N को 60 रखो. I by Y को आप 9% ही रखो as it is. Now सेकेंड करके I by Y करोगे तो आपको दो चीजें मिलेगी वहां पर, P by Y
C by Y.
and C by Y. So since it is an effective rate, compounding इसमें further नहीं देना है. So C by Y should be 1 and P by Y up 12 कर दो. And then you find out PMT, you will get the same answer. Right? So ये nominal नहीं करना हो बार बार. So that is like choice आपकी है. Whatever is convenient way to you, वो आप prefer करो. एक बार कर लो. देखो ये P by Y, C by Y करके.
So can you repeat the second method?
सारा डेटा तो सेम है. I by Y जो आपने पहले इंसर्ट किया उसको चेंज करके 9 कर दो.
Okay.
नाउ सेकंड I by Y प्रेस करो.
Okay.
क्या आया?
P by Y and I by Y.
अच्छा,
P by
P
Y.
का फुल फॉर्म बताता हूँ. पेमेंट्स फॉर ईयर. P by Y
Yes, yes.
payments per year. How many?
12.
12. चलो तो उसको 12 करके हमने एंटर कर दिया. Compoundings per year, because this is already an effective rate, I don't have to compound it any further, so I keep it 1. तो सब इसमें से बाहर निकल जाओ. CZ बटन प्रेस करके come out of it and find out PMT. देखो आपका आंसर आ जाएगा.
Okay.
So this is one more way of doing the same thing. But हाँ, ये करने के पीछे आप जब भी ये करो इनफैक्ट, सो ये एक चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंटली याद रखनी है कि अब आपके एक भी आंसर नहीं आएंगे आगे चलते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि कैलकुलेटर में सेट हो गया है कि अब आप हर एक में P by Y 12 और C by Y 1 लेना है. सो आफ्टर सॉल्विंग इट, क्लियर TBM से भी नहीं जाता है ये, तो आपको फिर से P by Y C by Y 1 C by Y ओपन करके या तो दोनों को 1-1 कर देना है, या तो वहां पर जाके क्लियर वर्क करना है. सेकंड सी क्लियर वर्क करो, या तो P by Y C by Y दोनों को 1-1 कर दो. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू डोंट डू इट तो फंस जाओगे. सो दो मेथड है. सो व्हाटएवर इज कन्वीनियंट यू कैन यूज इट इन ऑल द क्वेश्चंस.
P by Y
कैश फ्लो के अलावा जो दूसरा मेथड है उससे नहीं कर सकते अपन इसको?
अब और कौन सा मेथड?
सपोज जैसे ये अपन ने 8 तक उसको कैलकुलेट करके प्रेजेंट वैल्यू पे लेके आते हैं.
हाँ, फिर
7% से इन्फ्लेट करके अपन बिगनिंग ऑफ सेकंड ईयर पे पहुंच जाता है.
कौन से? हाँ, फिर
उसके बाद जो विड्रॉल्स अपन जैसे उसके अंदर बिगनिंग अंदर वो वैल्यू डाल के 8 ईयर करके उसका इफेक्टिव रेट करके प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालता है. उसके बाद ये वाला ही होगा ना मेथड, ये वाला पीवी और जो वैल्यू आएगी N60 और वो रेट 9% वाली.
कैसे होगा? आपने प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ढूंढी सेकंड ईयर पे, ठीक है. अब सेकंड ईयर से आप 0 पे आ गए, बराबर. तो वो तो पीवी है ना. अब हमको इन्वेस्टमेंट 5 साल का करना है मंथली बेसिस पे. तो ये जो सेकंड मेथड मैंने बताई आपको, वो इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टेप की है. 36,158 तो क्लियर है, उसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है कि आज जितने भी रिक्वायरमेंट्स है उसकी पीवी हमने ढूंढी. आई होप उसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है.
नहीं सर, वो तो क्लियर.
दिस इज अबाउट इन्वेस्टमेंट. एक तो हम नॉमिनल रेट करके पीएमटी ढूंढते हैं नॉर्मली, बट हाँ, देयर इज वन मोर वे ऑफ सॉल्विंग इट, जो P by Y C by Y है, तो जिसमें आपको नॉमिनल इफेक्टिव नहीं करना पड़ेगा, तो फिर आपको P by Y C by Y 1-1 करना पड़ेगा. सो व्हाटएवर इज कन्वीनियंट टू यू, यू कैन यूज इट. मुझे तो यही वाला मेथड ज्यादा पसंद आता है, बिकॉज इसमें सेफ्टी ज्यादा है. बिकॉज क्या फटाफट करने में 1-2 क्वेश्चन तक फिर P by Y C by Y की जरूरत ना पड़ी. देन यू रियलाइज कि अरे अब मेरा आंसर क्यों नहीं मैच हो रहा है, और आपको रियलाइज हो P by Y C by Y क्लियर करना रह गया था. पंगे हो सकते हैं, ऐसा हो सकता है एग्जाम में. बट ये स्टिल आपको जो भी यूज करना है करो, आंसर दोनों में सेम ही आएगा. क्लियर? मूव फर्दर.
C by Y has to be changed at मतलब जरा भी compounding high monthly हो है कि semi annual.
Then it is to be changed. Yes. So say for example I am solving a question of loan. So then it has to be both 12. So payments per year 12 and compoundings per year should also be 12. So यहाँ पर 1 लेने का रीजन एक ही था, बिकॉज ये 9% ऑलरेडी कंपाउंडेड रेट है, तो अब इसमें फर्दर कंपाउंडिंग में नहीं ऐड कर सकता हूँ. सो दैट इज बीन द रीजन आई केप्ट इट एज 1. ये उसका प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है.
Okay.
सो ये एक प्रैक्टिस करिएगा. क्वेश्चन नंबर 33, मार्केट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. सो एज एन व्हेन यू रिवाइज, तो ये क्वेश्चन आपको बहुत अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर लेना है. सो इफ नॉट एग्जैक्टली आइडेंटिकल मेथड इज देयर इन एग्जाम, तो मजा आ जाएगा. Then Lakshman वाला क्वेश्चन, ये आसान क्वेश्चन है. So Lakshman is an NRI who has been working in US for past 5 years. He is 40 years now. He has been saving rupees 8 lakh per annum for the past 5 years and hopes to save the same amount for next 10 years. So 5 साल से कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहा है? Per annum 8 लाख. And same amount he is going to invest for coming 10 years. That he plans to live in US. He would like to return to India 10 years from now. So exactly अभी जो उसका investment period खत्म होगा, then he'll come back to India. So The inflation adjusted monthly income requirement for Lakshman as estimated by the planner is 80,000 in the year in which he returns to India. So आज हमने planning किया, and as per our plan, whenever he comes to India, he would require 80,000 a month. It is estimated that inflation would remain at an average 3% for next 30 years once he's there in India. His life expectancy placed at 70 years. So he's right now, उसका age कितना है अभी? 40, right? Where is it? Bottom. He's 40 right now, and he will return to India 10 years hence. So then he'll be कितने का हो जाएगा when he returns to India?
50.
50. And उसके बाद life expectancy is 70. So 20 more years. 20 more years. However, if the estimated spend per month for his family is 90 and rate of inflation is 4%, how long will his saving last? तो हमें पीरियड ढूंढना है. चलो पढ़ो तो एक बार फिर से क्वेश्चन. चलो read it properly and precisely. Clear all of us? चलो इसका अब ये क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व कर. So what has happened here is whatever has been estimated by us, things changed when he comes to India. Of assumptions, his investment will earn a return of 6% per annum and compounding to be done on end basis. Means end mode पूरे question में हमें चलाना. So first of all, we have to find out the accumulation he would have when he returns India at age 50. At age 50 पे when he comes back to India, how much he would have. And end mode clearly दिया गया है. So PMT is 8 lakh. 5 years is the period for which he is already saved. 10 more years for which he is going to save. So 15 I by and we find out F. चलो ये आ गया सबका आंसर. Future value done. Got it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question is asking us the number of years for which this money would last. So we have taken the same amount as accumulated as PV. PMT is 90,000. अब जो पुराना 80,000 था उसकी हमें जरूरत नहीं है. पुराना inflation 3% उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. What is the latest number? 90,000 per month and 4% is inflation. So we have to find out, first of all, real rate now in this case. So 1.06 divided by 1.04, whatever be the real rate, आप उसे लोगे क्या, effective rate लोगे, then C by Y is equal to 12 and you will find out 12, this 12 and find out
1.9230.
और nominal जो आएगा उसको divide by 12 करना है because it is monthly real rate, monthly nominal real rate, and then you find out N. So try to find out 251. Tell me, does it match?
इफेक्टिव रियल रेट को नॉमिनल में कन्वर्ट करना है.
Yes, of course करना ही पड़ेगा because effective है. Effective cannot be divided by frequency. Only nominal is divided by frequency.
In C by Y, how much to be kept? 12 or 1?
12, sir, 12.
12.
श्वेता आप कर रहे हो ना?
Yes, sir.
तो 251.050.
क्या बात.
Nominal effective rate 1.9062.
नॉमिनल इफेक्टिव रेट ये कौन सा है? नॉमिनल रेट ढूंढा ना आपने 1 पॉइंट.
हाँ सर, मतलब वही नॉमिनल रेट.
इफेक्टिव का नॉमिनल. अच्छा
1.90 divided by 12 करवा ना सर.
हाँ yes.
Oh.
सबका 251 आ जाए तो कंफर्म करो.
हमारे से 179 आ जाएगा.
दैट इज प्लस माइनस.
नेगेटिव आएगा वो.
हाँ वो नेगेटिव 17 होगा, 171 जैसा.
प्रेजेंट वैल्यू नेगेटिव में ले.
एक प्लस एक माइनस लेना है.
Yes.
One question.
Yes, sir.
How do we know when that effective rate has to be converted to nominal rate?
When the investments or withdrawals are either on monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual basis.
Okay. When withdrawals are not in annual basis.
Hmm.
Okay. Otherwise, all rates will be in real rate, right?
If it was annualized, then we would have taken only real rate.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So 251 is still not our answer, by the way. So I'll rub this and अब answer लाते हैं. So 251 months. That is to be divided by 12. So it happens to be 20.9 years. He is going to be in India at his age 50. ठीक है, चलो. So funds will last until Lakshman is 81 years old? No. Absolutely no. Because after 50, it is going to last for 20.9 years. The funds will not be adequate to fund his estimated lifespan of 70 years. No, fund is going to be adequate. It is also wrong. First one is wrong. The funds will last until Lakshman is 72 years. No, the funds will not last until Lakshman is 72, and funds will exhaust before Lakshman is 71. That's correct. So even the options have been so tricky. Right or not? Clear एकदम? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Second option is confusing.
Second option is confusing.
Confusing.
I'll repeat. So the funds will not be adequate to fund his estimated lifespan of 70 years. So we understand that after 50, the fund is anyway going to last for more than 20 years. So is the reason second.
Right. Okay.
But all these statements, first one is also like having some confusion that it is estimated that inflation would remain at an average of 3% for next 30 years. So 30, if somebody thinks that way, that this 30 is to be considered after 50, then also it is confusion. So it has been very smartly put options. 35, it is also a unique question, because all the questions which we are going to do now onwards are going to be very interesting. So, Alok, age 25 years, plans to retire at the age of 60, and his life expectancy is 75 years. His current expenditure is 2 lakh annually. He estimates no reduction of expenses post-retirement. How much will he invest per annum to achieve his target? If inflation rate is 6%, and expected yield from investment is 10%. So far, the question has been normal. 3-step question is 25. We'll find out the estimated expenses, then we'll find out purpose, and then we'll find out investment. Let us read the last statement. Assume he wished to leave an estate of 10% of his savings at the time of retirement. So, what is so different in this question compared to normal questions? वो मैं आपको पहले बताता हूँ. So he's right now 25, wants to retire at the age of 60. So he will start investing some amount every month for next 35 years, and he will accumulate money. Now from this accumulation, as suggested in the question, he wished to leave an estate of 10% of his saving at the time of retirement. So, 2 parts. Whatever has been accumulated, for estate, 10% is kept aside, And for retirement expenses, he is going to use balance 90%, and from which he is going to fund his 15 years retirement. So 15 years of retirement will be funded from this 90% money. Got it? So this is the timeline of this question. Now moving further, we start with our question. Current expenditure 2 lakh, N is 35, inflation suggested in the question is 6%, and we find out FV. So find out this number, 15,37,217.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So, अब आगे. Considering the same amount in beginning mode for retirement life of 15 years, I by Y is real rate. Which two rates? 10 and 6. We find out PV. So now get this answer.
So 180,20558.7.
चलेगा. That's correct. So चलो सबका आंसर आ रहा है. So once everybody confirm, we'll move further because now we have got new concept to be studied.
What is this real rate? Because my answer is 189.
3.7735.
Okay. You have used up to 5.
Up to 5
Yeah.
in the sense decimal points?
Yeah, decimal points. Okay. After decimal 4 points you have used, right?
Yes, 4, yes.
Okay. But still it is coming. Have you used beginning mode or end mode?
Sir, what is your answer?
My answer is 189 20. One moment.
Sir, can you
One
check
moment.
your future value? Is there anything?
Okay, let me make 0 everything, then I'll.
I think present value में 2 lakh रह गया.
Yes, 180 20554. Correct.
Now, get on to the question once again. As it has been suggested that he will invest some amount and reach to 35 with some accumulation. 90% is to be used for retirement and 10% is used for estate. So the amount that we have found, that is 1 crore 80 lakh, is that the amount of accumulation or is it 90% value that we have found?
90%, sir.
Because this is the money required exclusively to fund his retirement. So that means we have found present value of that 90% amount to be segregated, right or not?
Right.
So that is the crux of the question. So once again, we have found present value of that 90% requirement. It is not the 100% value. So that is where, like in quick time, when you're running and rushing, this is the mistake you can make. Fine. So now considering that 1 crore 80 lakh is 90% value, then how much should be the accumulation so that we can keep 90% for retirement and 10% for estate. So 90% is 1 crore 80 lakh, then how much is 100%? So that 100% value should be 2 crore 22,000. So is that mathematics also clear to all of us? Forum?
No, sir.
No or yes?
No, I didn't get how to find out the 90% and 100%.
Acha, okay. So I'll say school में हम करते थे ना वैसे. So 1 crore 80 lakh 20,465 is 90%. Or say simply 90. Then 100 should be how much? आपको जो स्कूल टीचर याद आ जाएंगे ऐसा करते करते.
I got the answer.
Divide by 90, multiply by
90
100.
divided by 100. Yeah, I got the answer.
So now finally the accumulation amount is 2 crore 22 lakh. And now you can find out PMT. Are we supposed to invest annually here or monthly? Per annum, correct? So you can find out PMT. Is it in beginning mode or end mode? It is usually beginning mode. So get the answer. Is it 67,162?
161.8.
So that's correct. This was a unique computation. So if you haven't done this ever, probably you make a mistake. Now what mistake usually students make is they find out present value 1 crore 80 lakh. Now they split this 1 crore 80 lakh into two. And whatever has been for retirement, so for 80% they make investments. So these are like fumbles they make in terms of understanding the concept.
One thing,
Yes, sir.
in exam, these questions, these fonts are very small because how can it be increased? In the question paper, that fonts come very small. That is become difficult to read in the screen.
Acha, so the difference between the options are very small.
No, not that.
Huh?
The question paper is printed that that fonts are small. So
Fonts are small. Okay, fonts. No, sir, we
Yeah.
can't do anything for it.
okay.
And even their font style is very it's not usually we are so accustomed to read Calibri and all fonts. Their exam paper fonts are also not Calibri.
That is right. That is the reason.
That is the reason. And the spacing is also not usually we are accustomed with.
Yeah, the spacing is also very
Hmm.
clumsy. It looks clumsy. Right?
Fine. So we are done with this question. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Nitish is a 30-year-old self-employed youth and has been using PPF account to accumulate rupees 30,000 per year for his future needs. The PPF account provides the compounded rate of return of 8% per annum. He does not have a clear view yet on financial goals and needs, but has been saving as a habit for last 5 years. Now, this is very important. Like when we are reading this quickly, we tend to skip all these things that he's been saving from last 5 years. He's 30 right now. So must have started investing at the age of 25. Nitish is willing to look at a lifestyle after retirement that fits into 3 lakh, but konsa fixed. Fixed means without any effect of inflation. Per annum spend for estimated 15 years. What is the spending opportunity for Nitish at the time of his retirement at 60 years? Now, what's the meaning of spending opportunity? So you accumulate minus your requirement to fund retirement. So let's say somebody accumulates 10 CR, wherein the estimated corpus for retirement is just 6 CR. So balance 4 CR is a spending opportunity. Probably this can be spent for his leisure or luxury, which is other than the retirement fund. So that is the one we have to find out here. Nitish at the time of retirement at 60 years, given his savings and assuming a rate of 6% on his funds after retirement. Why so low? Because it is adjusted for inflation. Assumption, all computations for interest spend and savings compounded annually, assuming beginning of the period investment. चलो अब हम ढूंढ लेते हैं. So first step, we have to find out present or say future value of investments. So PMT is equal to 30,000. As suggested, it is in beginning mode. Achha, tell me the period. So 2-3 typical catches in this question. One of it is period. Tell me. So कितना period लेना investment का? बताओ.
35.
Yes. 35. So from today, he's 30 years away from retirement and he's been saving from last 5 years. So N is equal to 35. I by Y, that we should be taking how much is investment rate on PPF 8. And we find out FV. So FV batao.
So 55,830,64.439.
0
64.
64. Okay. ठीक है. So it is 55,83,000. True? Clear? Now we find out the present value of requirements at the time of retirement. Right. So say PMT is equal to 3 lakh. Beginning mode. N is 15. I by Y, no real rate. It is simply 6% and let us find out PV.
So 30,88,495.
30,88.
495.
अच्छा अब ये दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस.
So 24,94,568.
पेज टर्न करके देख लो. इज दैट द आंसर?
Yes, sir.
चलो, all of us clear with this? तो एक नया टॉपिक अब पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं. I think this was the last question.
Yes, clear.
नहीं, अभी भी है. ओह, चलो.
There are 4 more questions.
हाँ, ये उनकी बुक में से. This have been the questions which have been picked up from their book. So your client Helen wants to retire 25 years from now with inflation adjusted equivalent of 45,000 additional annual income. The payments at the beginning of each year, as you and Helen discuss her retirement, you agree to plan for 30 years of inflation adjusted income in retirement. Annual inflation is stable at 2.9% and Helen's portfolio is earning 6% annualized. Helen wants to wants the entire amount in place at the beginning of her retirement. How much will Helen have to save at the end of this and every year for next 25 years to meet her goal? थोड़ा language change हो गया because this has been taken from the book. So Helen is right now 25. With the inflation adjusted equivalent of 45,000 annual income. The payments at the beginning of each year. Okay, so it's a typical 3-step question. So step 1 is estimation of expense. Another is finding out corpus and third is investment. Check karo to. Are you getting this?
One point that there somewhere in some questions they mentioned that inflation adjusted equivalent. What exactly they want to mean by that?
So that is actually the real rate.
Otherwise also we use real rate only.
Yes.
Okay.
So let it come. We have some of the questions wherein exactly the same word that you have suggested is used. So we'll do that.
जबरदस्त कंफ्यूजिंग है. लास्ट में PMT एंड में लेना है.
And that has been mentioned also in question.
Yeah, that was. मैं इसलिए ऊपर देखा फिर से पूरा.
एग्जाम में यही मारा मारी that you have to be precise every time. और 2 घंटे में इतना टाइम ही नहीं होता है कि आप इतना ज्यादा पढ़ लो और एकदम प्रिसिशन से काम करो. So all of us done with this? Shweta done?
आंसर दोनों दिए हुए हैं.
हाँ, आंसर दोनों होंगे ना. मित्रा डन?
Yes, sir.
Forum?
Yes, sir.
Bhavik sir?
Yes, sir. છેલ્લું એન્ડ મોડમાં છે ને એ કન્ફ્યુઝિંગ થઈ ગયું મારે ફિલિંગમાં આવી ગઈ.
So they asked you to find out corpus in beginning, then final investment is in end. Yes, you are right. So then next is question number 38. These all questions are from their book only. So your client has the first year retirement cash flow need 20 years from now, that is 75,000, that is future value that already has been adjusted for inflation, 41,526 PV in today's terms. That means currently it is 41,526 और जो आपको दिया गया है 75,000, that is already inflated value. This will be paid out of the account at the beginning of every year. Your client also wants the retirement income fund amount to be fully funded upon retirement. So no shortfall. Assuming an investment return of 8% and inflation at 2.5%, what is the difference in investment fund inflation adjusted amount required if longevity assumption moves from retiring for 25 years to 35 years, the purchasing power of 70,000 is to be maintained. 75,000, in fact, we can just make correction here. So this, अब ये आंसर देखते हैं 70 वाला है या 75 वाला है, that is confusing. I too missed it, but ऊपर जो उसके हिसाब से करते हैं. Let's say purchasing power of 75,000 is to be maintained. Tell me what has been asked in the question. पहले तो वही पूछता हूँ आपसे, पूछा क्या है? हमारे एग्जाम में 50 to 60% स्किल यही होता है कि पूछा क्या है वो आइडेंटिफाई कर लेना क्वेश्चन में.
So 25 to 35 years ની વચ્ચે કેટલું ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ વધારે જોઈ છે?
So, partly correct. So question is very simple कि 25 years का जो कॉर्पस है और 35 years के लिए जो कॉर्पस है, राइट, ये दोनों के बीच का डिफरेंस पूछा है. दैट मीन्स हाउ मच मोर मनी यू नीड इफ you increase the life expectancy from 25 years post retirement to 35 years, है ना? चलो तो पहला कॉर्पस मुझे बताओ 25 years का, फिर 35 years का भी बताओ. I'll guide you how to do this. PMT is equal to 75,000. If we don't match, then we'll change to 70,000. N is equal to 25. I by Y is real rate of 8 and 2.5, and let us find out PV number 1. N फिर लोगे आप 35 and find out PV number 2. Find out difference.
जो नंबर बनाया हुआ है 107451.
चलो लिख लेता हूँ मैं, बताओ. चलो धीरे धीरे बताओ.
1074051.814.
अच्छा पॉइंट चलेगा. अब दूसरा वाला बताओ.
So 1236346
ठीक है, डिफरेंस. ये कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं लग रही है दूसरे वाले में? कुछ एक आध डिजिट रह गया है मेरा लिखना.
1 2 3 3 4 6 लास्ट में 6 है.
अच्छा चलो. सो 1 2 3
3 6 3 4 6.
Now find out difference. Are we getting close to this?
So 162295.
अच्छा आ गया. चलो क्या बात है. तो ये 75,000 वाला है. क्लियर हो गया ये क्वेश्चन सबको? वैसे काफी सिंपल था, but it's been written in very like complex way because this is not the English that we use in real routine life, इसलिए ज्यादा confusing लगता है. So anybody stuck? Ratnani sir. So we have lost him. Okay. Pritesh bhai clear?
Yes, but वही आप जो बोल रहे हैं वही language is something थोड़ा कस्टम होना पड़ेगा उसके लिए.
कस्टम होना पड़ता है. यस. श्वेता,
Yes, sir.
क्लियर हो गया ना ये क्या किया हमने?
So,
फॉरम
Yes.
गौतम सर का भी क्लियर हो गया. वंडरफुल. 39. भविक सर क्लियर आपको भी?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more. You and your client have agreed that 4% of the portfolio's value will be distributed from an investment account into a current bank account in January based on the portfolio's value at the end of previous year. In the previous year, the diversified portfolio started the year at 7,50,000 but suffered a decline of 4.7%. The amount of the current year distribution is most likely closest to. चलो कोई मुझे क्वेश्चन तो समझाओ पहले, फिर हम आगे करते हैं.
फोर परसेंट portfolio's 4% value need to be transferred to current account or at the end of the previous year. So beginning of previous year it was 7,50,000. It suffered a decline of 4.7%. So that need to be deducted, and then 4% to be computed to be transferred to current account.
Perfect. Super. Super. बस वही है. So it has been given this way that whatever the portfolio had on December end, uska 4% should come at the start of January, right? Now it has been given that last year January our portfolio was 7.5 lakh, suffered 4.7% loss, and then you have to find out this number. चलो जल्दी जल्दी ढूंढ लो. आ गया?
Yes.
बट हाँ ये ना कई बार पॉलिगन से ब्लास्टिंग क्वेश्चन हो सकता है. व्हेन यू डन लाइक 3-4 कॉम्प्लेक्स थिंग्स एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन ऐसा कुछ ना आ जाए ना, तो लाइक इट बिकम्स, दो इट इज इजी, बट क्या समझने में,
मानने में नहीं आता कि इतना इजी भी हो
इतना
सकता
इजी भी हो सकता है. वी स्पेंड सम मोर टाइम इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि इसमें और क्या हिडन है. चलो वन मोर. आपको इसका सॉल्यूशन तो मैंने दिया नहीं है. यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट. चलो, योर क्लाइंट वांट्स टू रिटायर इन 7 years. In today's terms, the client believes she will need an additional 65,000 lump sum when he retires. She retires in addition to her guaranteed pension to have sufficient funds to finance her retirement. You and your client assume inflation will average 3.5% over the long run, and that the client can earn 10% annual return on investments. Your client wants to invest a lump sum immediately and same sum inflation adjusted at the beginning of every year until retirement in order to achieve the goal. What investment should she be making immediately? चलो ये कोई मुझे समझाए तो मजा आ जाए. Anybody?
Client is assuming to get some amount as a guaranteed pension on retirement, but that would not be sufficient, and she would require, or he would require 65,000 additional. तो 65,000 का SIP करना है.
Correct.
Initial purchase और हर साल rather.
Right, and 65,000 is to be considered as FV.
Yes.
Right. अच्छा, अब SIP जब हम करेंगे तो like how are we going to take it? Like इन्वेस्टमेंट कैसे करना है इसमें?
Like client wants to invest lump sum immediately and the same some inflation adjusted at the beginning of every year. Okay. So initial would be immediate and then after inflation adjusted वो compute करना पड़ेगा amount.
So ये एक अजीब सा computation है. Even like अब इन्होंने किया है ऐसे. So is the reason I am also doing the same way. So 65,000 additional is required then. और आज से हमें जो इन्वेस्टमेंट शुरू करना है for how many years? 7 such investments, and they need to grow with inflation as suggested in the question. Client can earn 10% return and it should be inflation adjusted. So client wants to invest a lump sum immediately and the same some inflation adjusted at the beginning of every year. So एक try करते हैं. So let's take FV is equal to 65,000. N is equal to 7. I by Y. क्यों inflation adjusted पूछा तो मैंने real rate ले लिया इसको. So 10 and 3.5. Let me find out PMT in beginning mode. Let's see. Do we get the answer?
Seven two four seven.
आ गया. And this is their answer. Correct. तो ये भी एक मेथड है. So like similar style things come in. So ये लिखा काफी कॉम्प्लेक्स है, but स्टेप तो 4 ही थे करने के लिए. So we could have done it with much easier way. लिखा बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स है. Right. So in this sequence, like in the third session in a row, we have completed 40 questions. तो अब रिटायरमेंट के मेजोरिटी ऑफ द न्यूमेरिकल्स तो मैंने आपको करा दिए. अब ये कॉन्सेप्ट हम एक साथ करेंगे तो मजा ऐसा है. So that is bucket system. It is always there in exam. Always, invariably. सब स्टूडेंट्स ने बताया आज तक कि एग्जाम में आता ही आता है. और ऑब्वियसली ये नहीं पूछेंगे तो there will be injustice. ये तो होना ही चाहिए एग्जाम. And then we'll be doing some more questions. तो रिटायरमेंट में एक बार हमारे न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट खत्म हो जाएंगे, then we'll have very less things to study. फिर फटाफट खत्म हो जाएगा. So then we'll speed up with retirement planning. ठीक है, चलो तो आज फिर हम like we are completing before time once again.